Hello! Today we will talk about if algorithms from the streaming services are really damaging the films today. Many people that are stuck in their houses during this lockdown use streaming services as a way to see movies instead of going out to the cinema because the streaming services offers a safer way than going to the cinema or while the cinemas are shut. However, recently the winner Oscar and director Martin Scorsese, who have made movies like The Irish or The Wolf of Wall Street, states in an essay for the Harper's Magazine the lack of curation of the streaming platforms, that using algorithms provides recommendation to their users using viewing habits or behaviors, damage this art of the cinema and treating the viewer only as as a consumer and nothing more, making the cinema being devaluated, demanded, and reduced only by the name content. Also, Martin Scorsese has expressed his bemoans to the industry of the reliance on the superhero movies just as Marvel or DC movies. Now, here lies a question. How do these algorithms work, and are they really damaging our culture of the cinema as Scorsese suggests? Well, these algorithms work while they can have the more data as they can get in their hands on. Algorithms used by streaming services recollect data of our behavior and send it to the companies to categorize, filter, and present different types of movies. This spans formats from films, TV, music to different recommendation sources, labels, genres, or even people that may have your own interests or likes. However, the industry is now relying more and more on these algorithms, selecting what we can see or we may see, even though the films have long narrative tales that of technology being developed to enhance and support the humans. But at last, they decide the humans to gain the control, showing us that machines can be trusted, just as in the movie The Matrix. Also, Elin Karmi, a researcher from the Liverpool University Communication and Media Department, says that this recollection and use of our own behavior in the platforms are being sold to us by the name of personalization. Streaming services make sure that each person has their own account so they can track their preferences easier. Even if you have an account that can cater for several people on Netflix, Amazon Prime or Hulu, the streaming services are capable of recognizing each person's behavior and patterns. So algorithms operate from the moment the user logs in. What appears at the top of your recommendation, the colors you see, the images used, also you can see in the miniature, like in Netflix or Amazon Prime, are some examples that streaming services use to nudge people. Netflix sells millions of products each year, each day, with personalized recommendations and audiovisuals. What this business is aiming to is to get as much information they can from their own consumer as possible, so they can show you the right content that you may see, and you will pay for the services as long as you want.
Director Martin Scorsese thinks that the streaming services machine learning system is changing completely the cinematographic experience of the users. This means that people now have a different concept about genre or subject matter because now all kinds of curation must be cataloged so they can be sold as content, which makes them lose its artistic purpose. And according to Garmy, this is a battle between the new and the old gatekeepers of the arts and culture. But for example, curation has always been a process which has been made with little fundamentals about production, about distribution and rating of the films. And talking about film rating, the 2006 documentary "This Film Is Not Rated Yet" shows the importance of criticism and rating in the film industry and how these factors decides which movie is distributed or not, and the way big studios get more benefits than the small ones. This means, for example, that the new technology institutions and the art institutions now are the ones who have the power to decide what is art, what is culture, what must be distributed and what must not be distributed. Last year, top 10 Netflix productions was a total disagreement for a lot of consumers because it included some unhinged titles. According to Wendy Spires for The Guardian, Netflix doesn't make money from proclaimed productions. The only thing Netflix needs to do is coaxing people to spend massive amounts of time on their platform. To prevent the user from closing the tab, Netflix must create content for any kind of mood of any user, making artistic integrity less important. And that's why series like Emily in Paris, despite having lots of negative criticism, still leads the chart thanks to the support it received by the social media. Priorities to Fayez Ahmed says that the public is an easy target, but reality is a little bit more complex. He talks about the pulling of numbers, which emphasizes the loss of promotion films and series require to be canceled. An example of this is The Away, which was a series that had really good critics but didn't get the enough audience for a third season. This is why some of the best content doesn't get the same repercussion as the generic fare Netflix knows people will watch. But even Martin Scorsese knows how to take advantage of streaming services. The Irishman was funded by Netflix after a lot of studios rejected it due to its high cost. However, not all the fault belongs to the algorithm of the services. Audience choice cannot be forgotten since they are the ones who decide what they want to watch. So we can expect the algorithm to equilibrate the balance between what's deemed lowbrow or worthy content. On the other hand, streaming services have opened a lot of opportunities for content that was once difficult to produce and distribute through Hollywood. For example, films that talked about racism or LGBT rights are now easier distributed than ever. And at the end, algorithms are not bad at all. They just show our preferences through technological platforms, and that doesn't mean it will put an end to the film industry as we once knew. Thank you for watching.